thank you for tuning in today. I'd like to talk today about aging in place and what that truly means in an assisted living. If you're going out choosing a new assisted living in the new year, you need to be aware of what aging in place truly is. And what that means is if you are going to move your loved one to a continuing care retirement community, that's a larger community with many different levels of care, from independent, assisted, memory care, and skilled nursing, to a memory care only, like what Vista Gardens is, or Irvine Cottages, or a boarding care, or an assisted living, like a beautiful social assisted living that offers just a variety of fun assisted living programs and, of course, care too. So they're all a little different in different states and different cities and different counties and different companies. Most of them are for-profit, some are nonprofit. There are very few nonprofits in senior living. However, there are a few. So that's a question to ask, but how does that relate to aging in place? When you're on the tour and you're visiting, it's real important to visit. I know it's hard on people because they work and it's such a hard job to care for an older adult, whether it's a parent or a loved one, or a husband, a wife, a sister, a brother, it's hard. But visiting is critical and asking some key questions. And we've gone over in our vlog many times the key questions. But one thing that one family did email me about a couple weeks ago was, I moved my loved one to a chain, a large chain of assisted livings, and I thought they were great company, but I never asked if my mom could stay there till the end of her life. And I know that's a hard question, but you do, if you don't want your parent to move around a lot, or your loved one, you want to make sure this community that you're moving to will accept them till the end of life. They do have a hospice license. They do allow hospice to come in. They do allow them to be fed if needed. They do allow them to be bedridden if needed. They do allow them to have their blood pressure taken if the physician orders blood pressure, however often the physician feels it's needed. Or weights. They do allow them to be weighed once a month or whatever, of course, is indicated by the physician again. Like, what are their policies and procedures in regard to this issue? Because if you don't ask it, unfortunately, it's not going to be told to you. And they may say to you, your mom's doing great, but she really needs to be fed, and we can't feed people at this ABC facility. So she needs to move on to memory care, or she needs to move on to another assisted living that allows for that, a smaller one. So bouncing around for older adults, especially with cognitive impairment, is not good. It's never good on the brain, never good for aging and comfort. So going back to the question of, does the facility do it? Asking it up front is really critical. Also, when you're going into a CCRC, it could be a buy-in or a buy-in contract, make sure you understand all their levels of care and you understand how big is your memory care. So for example, if my mom gets Alzheimer's, she's already having a few memory issues. She's independent right now. She's going to move into an independent apartment. But, down the line, she could get dementia and it could progress into Alzheimer's. We don't know. One of the dementias, we don't really know at this point. But I want to know, how many memory care beds do you have? If it's, say, a place for 500 and memory care is 20, that's not very large. And there may not be a bed for you there. So again, you've got to move again. So it's very important to know ahead of time those issues. Those critical numbers are important. You want to pick a place with a large assisted living, so she could then transition to assisted living, and with a little bit larger memory care, so then she could transition there, or they have a hospice, and they have a hospice that's willing to come into different levels of care. So those are critical issues. If you really want them to have a skilled nursing, it may be your wish that you want, in case she ever fell, there be a skilled nursing nearby, either nearby or on property. So those kind of questions need to be addressed. And I hope this answers your question about what truly is aging in place and how does it relate to assisted living and senior care. But have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in.